This new One Piece Roblox game releases tomorrow, and this game is called One Piece New Dreams, and it's been in closed community or testing for a while, and I actually got to play the game a few months ago. But apparently they've been revamping the game and adding a lot of content to it. And One Piece New Dream always had a lot of really good concepts and ideas, but the execution really wasn't there, so I'm hoping this revamp can change that. So do me a favor and like and subscribe for the algorithm, and let's get straight into the video. So if you guys couldn't already tell, One Piece New Dreams definitely doesn't have the best graphics, and from what I've seen personally, it also doesn't have that great of PvE, but it does seem to have really good combat and also some really interesting concepts. For example, they're one of the few games on Roblox that actually made guns viable, and even now I believe they have a Usopp fighting style with a slingshot, and those are things you just don't see in Roblox One Piece games right now, and that's generally why a lot of people are excited for this game. I don't think a lot of people think One Piece New Dreams is going to be the best game on Roblox or anything, but what you can't say is that they're going with the basic formula that everybody else is, because their game is clearly different. And I guess the best way to describe it would be a more realistic take on One Piece or a more hardcore version. For example, you have a subclass, which is essentially what your crew role is. You have a navigator, a doctor, a shipwright, a chef, and a musician. And obviously because this game was a close community game, there was a lot of emphasis on your crew. And at least from my experience playing, it seemed to make sense to have a diverse crew. You want to go to the next island, you need a navigator. You want to heal someone, you need a doctor. You need a shipwright to repair your ship. You need a chef because there is a hunger system. And generally, I just really like their subclass system, and it's the reason I tried out the game in the first place. But I'm not gonna lie to y'all, there's a lot of things I thought were negative and I just didn't like in general as well. One thing that a lot of y'all might think is pretty controversial is the whole one person can only have one fruit thing, which essentially just means there's only one of each fruit. And for a game that's about to go public, that is crazy to me. Like, I understood it when it was closed community, I still wasn't that big of a fan of it, but it still made some sense. But when you have a game that's gonna have thousands of players, to only have like what, 5 maybe fruits in it is gonna be tragic in my opinion. And some of y'all might disagree with me on this, but let's be real here. The realistic experience for everybody else is just gonna be playing a One Piece game with no fruits. And I do understand it's supposed to be more hardcore, and in actual One Piece not everybody has a fruit, but you're most likely not even gonna be going against people with a fruit 99% of the time either. In the trailer there's only 3 fruits listed, but I assume it's a bit more than this. But even if it's like 5 or 10 fruits, you can't divide that across thousands of players. It just doesn't logically work. Like, depending on how popular the game ends up being, I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't see anyone with a fruit for weeks of playing. And I'm really not sure how a lot of people feel about that, because obviously it's meant to be hardcore, so it's kind of meant to be like this, but to an extent I feel like most people want to use fruits. And like I said, 99% of people and everybody that's not no-lifing the game is not gonna have a fruit. But to compensate for the fact that so little people are gonna have fruits, they have a lot of fighting styles. And when you have a fighting style and subclass, you still have a relatively diverse build even without the existence of fruits. I'll put what fighting styles they have on screen, but they have 12 total, which is a lot more than any game I could think of off the top of my head. And I think it might be even more than this since the Usopp fighting style isn't listed, but that was shown as well. But the races also seem like they're gonna add to the build diversity a bit since they have skills as well. You have human, Skypian, Fishman, Cyborg, and Mink, and some of them have really cool things. For example, Mink has Sulong form, which is something I haven't seen done in a game. I don't think Sulong form has a transformation like it does in One Piece or anything, but it's still cool to see just because it's left out a lot of the times. But what I hated the most when I was actually playing One Piece New Dream was the progression. The progression was terrible in my opinion, and I really hope they prioritized it a lot during the revamp. Essentially what I was doing to progress, which I'm pretty sure is how you're supposed to progress, is just run around the island and occasionally bandit spawn. And essentially it just felt like Block Street's bandit beating, but essentially you have to run around the map, so it made it really tedious. And maybe some of y'all will enjoy that, but I'm not gonna lie, to me that was really unenjoyable, and it was my least favorite part of the game by far. Now it looks like they're also adding sea beasts, which is also a really good addition. I assume the sea beasts are gonna work like the other bosses where they drop a lot of hockey XP and you're gonna have to farm them for hockey, but I also think it would be pretty cool if they had some sort of drops, like some sort of weapons or whatnot. But either way, I like the sea beast model, so it's definitely a good change regardless. But the owner actually said something, and I think it shows us where we should realistically put our expectations for the game. He essentially says it's their first project and they don't want to exceed your expectations, they just want to release something decent to play. So if you do want to try this game out, I don't recommend you go with the expectations of something that's going to be your best experience on Roblox ever, or something that's going to change your life, but more just like something that might be fun to play for a bit while you wait for other games. That's how I personally am viewing the game. And if it does exceed that expectations, that's a good thing, but you don't want to set your expectations too high, because then if it doesn't exceed them, you're gonna be disappointed. But regardless, that's just my opinion on the game. Let me know what you guys think about it. I'll be live streaming the game tomorrow on release, so make sure to check out the Twitch for that. that. And also like, subscribe, comment, algorithm, everything. I appreciate y'all, and maybe watch the next video if y'all really enjoy my content like that. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Later.